Hello everyone, my name is Elizabeth Leach. I chose to read the memoir Bossypants by Tina Fey. Over, under, through. Fey introduces the reader to Bossypants by writing a letter addressed, "Welcome, friends." Her long-winded reasoning for her book title immediately gives you a sense of her sarcastic humor. The next short chapter outlines Fey's origin story, starting when she was born 8 years after her brother. She was a wonderful surprise. Whether the choice is related to beauty, career, or motherhood, Fey pares it down to a simple statement. Either way, everything will be fine. Fey's memoir is a talkative journey through the factors that contributed to the person she is today. Throughout childhood and her teenage years, Fey learned her physical features would never let her fit into an impossible ideal. She worried about this for her own child. How do we survive this? How do we teach our daughters and our gay sons that they are good enough the way they are? In the beginning of her career as an improv actor, Fey faced gender nonsense at work that dismissed her ideas to make cast change and include more women. Fey explains, "This insulting implication, of course, was that women wouldn't have any ideas." Towards the end of the memoir, Fey says, "The topic of working moms is a tap dance recital in a minefield." When asked, "How can you juggle it all?" leads to an unsaid judgment of how crappy you're doing. Problems created by conflict in one's life rarely remains quiet and often becomes destructive to one's ability to live a happy, healthy, and successful life. The words she heard from her father while growing up stayed with her. He would yell, "Defective! Inexcusable!" And this shaped how she saw others. She internalized that she always had to work harder to be good enough. Even the anxiety her father gave her was something she saw as a gift, because she learned to always be ready for something to go wrong. These things may have helped her succeed in some ways, but they also made it hard for her to interact with others because she held on to the same standards. In Bossypants, especially in pages 103 to 114, Tina Fey talks about how women are always expected to focus on their looks, things like hair, makeup, and clothes. Even though she knows she doesn't need to be the center of attention, she feels that pressure because she's a woman. This constant focus on appearance has real effects. It teaches women that looking good is more important than what they say or do. Fey uses humor to show how unfair and tiring this can be. Instead of being able to focus on work or ideas, women often feel like they have to spend too much time worrying about how they look. This can make it harder for them to be taken seriously or feel comfortable in who they are really. Fey realized that the skills she learned in improv, like speaking up, adapting quickly, and thinking differently, could help her face the challenges of working in a male-dominated field. This helped her feel more confident and ready to move forward in her own way with her own ideas. She always had thought being a strong leader meant being forceful and in control. When she went to SNL, Lorne Michaels' calm and steady managerial style was completely the opposite of the Bossypants approach. Over time, his way of leading became a valuable example to learn from, and that helped Fey move forward in her career. Even though Fey is working at her dream job, she still has moments when she would fantasize about quitting. But she had reached a point in her life where she accepted the reality when her reverie is inevitably interrupted by someone who needs her back at work. Fey feels a deep responsibility to those who work for her, because in reality, not everyone gets their dream job. In her own words, "They need this job to pay their bills, and if I flake out and quit, their jobs would disappear." The truth of Fey's epiphany is proven through her reference to an old Sesame Street film piece and her determination to tackle challenges by going over, under, through. She is unapologetic, slightly sarcastic, and has risen beyond the old boys club vibes in her workplace. She does not tailor her contributions to fit into a mold that is never meant for her. Instead, Fey focuses on doing her best work, leading with authenticity, and mentoring other women to do the same. By being true to herself, she has found more success and happiness, both at work and beyond. In conclusion, Bossypants shows that Tina Fey uses humor and confidence to overcome challenges in her life and career. The overdramatic ridiculousness of some of the problems encountered in life, the things that take up time in the brain versus real problems, is a phenomenon she now understands on all levels. Her story encourages us to be ourselves, face obstacles with resilience, and stop trying to fit into unrealistic expectations. As she put it best, do your thing and don't care if they like it. Tina Fey is a very expressive writer, often making unexpected or surprising statements. Her writing style is comedic, which makes her memoir enjoyable to read, as she uses humor to talk about the challenges she has faced in her life. While the memoir was both inspiring and entertaining, it wasn't the most compelling genre I've read overall. I give this book 3 stars. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and I'll see you next time.